Sunday Beauty Queen is directed by Baby Ruth, and what this is that it's a documentary about OFWs working in Hong Kong as domestic helpers. And the title refers to their one off day in the week where they get to participate in and hold their own beauty pageants. Now, I was extremely excited to check out Sunday Beauty Queen because it made history as the very first documentary to make it into the Metro Manila Film Festival. And I know a lot of people aren't used to watching documentaries and they think they're boring and stuff, but I promise if you get used to watching them, if you learn how to watch documentaries, some of them can turn out to be like some of the best films ever made. Now, Sunday Beauty Queen isn't the most comprehensive documentary in terms of subject matter, but the women in the film are wonderful subjects and there are some truly powerful emotional moments throughout the film. Now, some people like to say that most documentaries are only ever as good as the subjects in the films, and I do believe this to some degree, but thankfully the subjects in Sunday Beauty Queen really are just great. All these women are so great to just get to know, and Baby Ruth Villarama, the director, really mines a lot of dramatic content out of them and out of their relationships with each other. And I just love how this movie is structured as well, because the film starts off with one of these pageants where we get a quick look at each of these major subjects that the film ends up tackling later on. But then right after this pageant ends, the film suddenly gets quieter and it gets a lot more low-key, and we begin to follow each of these domestic helpers through their own individual arcs. And I love that they do that because it helps us feel how they feel. You know, the excitement dies down and it's back to the daily struggle, the daily grind. I think this is a really important move for the film because we get a sense that everyone is connected even if they're not, you know, on screen together. And it shows that the struggles that one of them faces are the same struggles for everybody, really. This documentary is definitely more of a character piece than a film about the general issues of OFWs in Hong Kong. But it does work in what it sets out to do because, you know, it has all these different personalities and we got a lot of different emotions, but they all still feel united. It still feels like one cohesive film. And it's really clear that Baby Ruth Villarama really loves her subjects and she always treats them with respect. This is not a movie that pities them. It's not a movie that talks down to them or, you know, condescends them. It really just tells their story. And you really do immediately grow attached to each of these people. And as you watch it, you just can't help but think about the domestic helpers you grew up with or grew up around or the ones you still know even today. And I really just love how this documentary tells their story through their point of view, and you can really see this in how Hong Kong is portrayed. You know, it's not portrayed as a glamorous place because for them, it's not a glamorous place. You know, they don't go to Hong Kong to take a vacation. They're there because it's necessary. They have to work. The work is hard. They face lots of abuses, and it paints the city in that same light. One thing that really helps the drama get across in this movie is the music, because the music is really, really simple and it never turns the events on screen into melodrama. They're just very simple arrangements that almost feel as if it's the kind of music that these domestic helpers themselves would play if they scored their own movie. But I do have some issues with Sunday Beauty Queen. First of all, something must have happened during the rendering of the film because there are some noticeable drops in frame rate throughout the movie. This is like a really small complaint, but it's noticeable and does take you out of the movie. One other small thing that took me out of the film was that, you know, while it's easy to see the connections among most of these subjects, one of them, I forgot her name, I'm sorry, the way they kind of insert her into the film is sort of abrupt, like they couldn't figure out where to put her puzzle piece, so they just kind of put her there right before like the ending parts. And while yes, this movie is more of a character piece and I really appreciate what it does with each of these people, you know, there are some truly heart-wrenching moments here where the entire audience just fell dead silent or some of us went "aw" out loud. I still would have appreciated just a little bit more context because the movie does give us facts about the OFWs in Hong Kong, but for me it just required a bit more to really give us, you know, a full idea of what it's like to be there. But in the end, Sunday Beauty Queen is still a pretty good movie, and it's not just a good movie, it's really important, I think. It's a required viewing, I feel, for any Filipino out there, really, you know, and it's really baffling to me that some of these big studio filmmakers who were angry that their films didn't get into the MMFF, that they would start bashing these entries, including Sunday Beauty Queen, when this film is way more important than any dumb comedy they have to offer. So, I just don't understand it. Please go out and support this movie. Alright, so those are my thoughts on Sunday Beauty Queen. If you guys have seen it, please tell me what you thought about it, and whether you agree with me or not, please leave me a comment. Let's have a conversation below, and please keep on supporting the Metro Manila Film Festival.